Bebe Rexha shared a text message that appears to show her boyfriend calling her out over her 35-pound weight gain. She's trying to Jonah Hill her boyfriend. She's trying to give him the Jonah Hill treatment that Sarah Brady did. But this time she has a far bigger platform than Jonah Hill's ex-girlfriend has. And it's just dirty. Like, it's just trashy to be airing out your dirty laundry like this. And it also makes her look like she was in the wrong, context or not. Let's read out this text message that Bebe Rexha's boyfriend sent her. She posted this on her Instagram story. Hey, I never said you weren't beautiful, and I never said I didn't love you. In fact, I said how beautiful you are and how much I loved you. But I always said I would be honest with you, and your face was changing, so I told you it was. That was the conversation we were having, and you asked. Granted, she asked him a question like, am I getting fat, babe?
Guys,
and
it's a trap.
It's always a test.
There is no right answer other than no.
So he said, because I care, would you rather I lied to you? You gained 35 pounds. Obviously, you gained weight and your face changes. Should I just pretend it didn't happen and that it's okay? Come on, I gained 3 pounds and you call me chubs and fat. Doesn't mean you don't love me. If you're trying to find reasons to break up, this makes sense, but it's not the real reason. If you're unhappy with me or yourself or with life and don't see a future with us, then that's okay, and that's the reason. Don't use something like that to weaponize your anger or anxiety or any insecurity you may have. You know I always found you to be beautiful and loved you no matter what. I think it's important for you to think about things and write things down. Speak to a therapist and do this retreat thing to get to the root of the problem. Let me know if you'd like to speak, if you need more clarity. I love you. And they've now broken up.
If she asks if she looks fat in this dress, the answer is always no.
It was a test all along.
It's always no, ladies and gentlemen.
And by the way, it's just getting back what you're giving to him. He said, I gained 3 pounds and you called me fat. So when it's the other way around, it's not okay. This makes her look bad.
Yep. And not just that, but releasing this at all and making your private matters very much public doesn't make her look good either.
And I think the Jonah Hill situation has kind of emboldened people, whether they're public figures or not, to think that posting your private text messages is okay.
Yeah.
As long as you can justify it by using some buzzword like emotional abuse or narcissism. Not everyone that you don't like is a narcissist. Not all of your exes are crazy. Maybe you're the common denominator there.
One of my biggest, like, if somebody says, like, I had an ex and he was a toxic narcissist, I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah, you immediately assume the worst.
Okay. Why was he a toxic narcissist? Oh, like he had to work late one day? Okay, sorry.
Yeah. And this woman, by the way, is 33 years old.
Yeah.
Like, you're literally the age that Jesus was when he was nailed to the cross. Grow up and stop posting your private messages on your Instagram like a teenage girl.
Yep.
It's insane that this is justified. And there are a ton of girls, like, coming to like defend her and say, like, wow, she really dodged a bullet. He's obviously a narcissist. He was gaslighting her. He was body shaming her, blah blah blah.
There's a little bit in there that I could see, like, if you've been conditioned heavily into thinking that nothing is ever your own fault, that could be taken as gaslighting. I don't know if I buy it.
Maybe we'll get more context a week later and find out this guy is a total monster. Fine.
Be.
But as long as we're looking at this screenshot alone, she looks bad in it.
Yep.
And she didn't even include what she replied, like, to this text.
And let's face it, like,
and what is this guy supposed to do? She gains 35 pounds and he just isn't attracted to her anymore, but should stay with her anyway. Like, you're expecting the level of commitment that a marriage would entail and not boyfriend, girlfriend.
In fatness and in health.
Yeah, in fatness and in health. You know, if your wife gains 35 pounds, that's not grounds for divorce.
Yep.
But if you're, like, just dating somebody and you can't talk candidly about something that they asked you about, clearly she can't take criticism from anyone, and she's super sensitive about this topic. Only like just a couple weeks ago, she tweeted, I know I got fat. I'm just so sick of people talking about it. Next. And now she's posting about it some more, getting people to talk about her weight gain more.
Let's be honest.
She said, human beings go through weight fluctuations. It's life, and you don't know what people are going through. Meds, disease, etc. And she's previously talked about her weight gain and said that it's hard for her to lose weight because she has PCOS. whatever. I don't care about all of these details. It just is so grimy and dusty to post your dirty laundry onto your public platform, especially when you have way bigger of a platform than your boyfriend and you know that he's going to get attacked for this, no matter what it is.
And let's be real. In today's day and age, there is no way that he would be allowed to broach the subject where she wouldn't feel slighted. He will always be the bad guy in the situation to her.
He wasn't even the one that broached the subject if she was the one that asked about it.
Ladies, if you don't like the answer, don't ask the question. And there's also like the thing where they talk about like oh, if you don't like the idea of how it's like how many people have you been with? If you don't like the answer, don't ask the question. But then they go and ask the question like, does this dress make me look fat? You know the answer you're going to get every time, because society has conditioned men to never, ever give an answer other than happy wife, happy life, happy girlfriend, whatever. You're not allowed to actually say what you feel, because first of all, you'd have to approach that delicately anyways. And you're not just going to be like, yes, you look as big as Alabama in that dress, miss. I'm afraid you're fat. Like, you're not just going to say that, but why ask the question if you're not asking for at least some type of honest response?
Right.
And you're not going to get that today. You're not going to get it ever, because we've conditioned men to never do that.
Thankfully, I think because of the Jonah Hill situation, people are kind of smelling shit about this. One person said he honestly told her about her weight gain, and when she asked, she was also the one calling him fat for 3 pounds of weight gain. Make it make sense. He was not judging her for anything. I don't want to be siding with a man right now. Like, even the feminists are like, she's clearly in the wrong here. Another one said, not trying to invalidate her feelings. I'm invalidating her feelings. But I feel like he didn't say anything that made it necessary for her to post this. Like, girl, you could have handled this privately. Yeah. And that's just like, people don't have any concept of having like class or tact or discretion about anything anymore. And everything is fair game to post on social media for clout. Especially
when you're a public figure and the idea is to get public sentiment on your side, because it's beneficial to you both financially and socially.
And this guy is relatively a nobody aside from dating her, and he doesn't deserve to be brought onto the world stage and called an abusive narcissist, gaslighter, or whatever buzzword you want to throw at him, just because he was having a private conversation with her. If he started it, then sure, like, you can clap back publicly, but he didn't start it. Yeah. It's just like classless to post something like this, and you're making yourself seem more unhinged. Like, who would want to date you after you do this?
He's probably, I mean, I don't know.
Who would want to have any private communication with you after you do this?
Because, is the idea here that you're never allowed to disagree with her? You're never allowed to be honest with her about something unless it 110% falls directly in line with whatever her thought is on that topic as well. You can't have any type of honest disagreement. And there's a lot of entitlement there, either because she's more famous than he is, because society has conditioned women to feel like they don't ever get to be slighted by men they're with. Otherwise, it's abuse. You know, and then now they have this extra layer where they just leak the messages, and everyone's supposed to be like, yes, queen, slay, go you.
People are also claiming that he said this because he's from the Middle East.
Well, that sounds racist.
What? I think we should look up some pictures of them together and analyze the green lines.
Oh, I saw an amazing one the other day of Barbie and Ken green line test where Barbie wins every time.
Rivolino analyzed their green lines.
What's his name?
Let's see. Maybe if you just look up, okay, his name is Kian Safyari. It's Keyyan Saf.
K-E-Y-S. Say it again.
Kian. And then Safyari. We need to do this analysis. It's essential to the story. Because if he's leaning into her,
that's a pretty split one. They're both they're both leaning in on that one. What do you think? Who wins that one?
He hasn't maintained his frame. He needs to be standing straight as a pin.
Hold on. There's this one. That one.
They're always taking it from the diagonal shot.
Maybe that's on purpose.
Yeah,
to prevent you from looking. She's clearly leaning over on him there if you straighten that photo out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just, you can't win.
You can't.
In these situations.
I don't think I don't think that there's a good answer to this, but I know that the right answer isn't just leaking the pictures or leaking the text.
That's such middle school behavior.
Yeah. Well, I
mean, maybe
that's why women love social media, because social media is how you bully like a middle schooler.
Me Too someone for being rude to you, and he wasn't even being rude.
Nope.
Like, that's insane.
He looks like a younger version, like a mixture of Manu Bennett and S.I. Morales. But
she does always seem to be angling her face away from him, though.
She's well, not there. She's leaning into him. Oh, her face
is always angled away from him.
She's like, ew.
Or she's like, get my good side.
She's
I don't know. She seems like she's the narcissist in this relationship, actually.
A Hollywood female narcissist. Shocking.
Yeah.
That is absolutely shocking to me. You can't be serious, right?
The hoflation is real, guys.
Well, it's do you think that we'll end up getting more stories of this? Well, you know what we ended up not covering is like the absolute insanity that's going on right now with Kevin Costner's divorce, where his just gold digging wife is just like, there's a photo of her, like she leaves her lawyer's office after getting what she wanted, and she's just smiling ear to ear because she's like, I'm gonna take this poor sap for everything he's worth if I can. You know,
when did that happen?
Very recently. They separated, and like he's ending. He's no longer going to be on Yellowstone, but just not soon enough, because she wanted him home. She wanted him to both make all the money that she could spend and be home with her, because she's like Bebe Rexha. She wants to have her cake and eat it too.
Maybe that was part of this relationship too, because she's clearly making more money than him
and having the cake and eating it too.
And it's just unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, even if she's making more money than him, that doesn't matter in this case. Not
it shouldn't
really.
Matter,
it shouldn't matter.
But on a subconscious level, you have to
for
admit,
him.
like, for a lot of women, they don't want to be making more money than the guy that they're with.
Yeah.
Even if it only bothers them on a below the surface level.
Yeah, but then it comes out in the form of leaking text messages. Yeah. Because she feels, I don't respect this dude at all, therefore I can just leak this shit because it doesn't matter.
I just imagine her like sitting in front of her vanity and she's like, babe, do you think that like with this weight I've been gaining, my face is starting to look different? And he's like, well, yeah, a little bit.
But I love you all the same.
But I love you and you're beautiful. Mm-hmm. And this is her reaction.
Yep.
Psychotic.
Like, imagine ever trusting her again. Like, if you're like the next person who dates her, like, and you're just like, she's just like, does this dress look good? He's like, crap, I remember this. It's like, I've seen this.
This is some toxic femininity on display.
Yeah,
today.
It's the world. It's the world we live in nowadays. She kind of looks like who does she look like to you? Eva Mendes a little bit there, like in this photo. She looks.
This is also like a week after she got that phone thrown at her face and got a black eye. He didn't care about that.
Maybe it was him. Maybe he threw the phone at her. He's like, I hate you.
You're beautiful even with a black eye, babe.
He's like, just to get the conversation off the weight gain.
Like, some of these replies are just delusional. Like, how can you like be a backseat driver in someone else's relationship? One person said, you're dumb if you would dump a girl just because she gained weight. I guarantee if you were with a girl who gained like 500 pounds, you would break up with her. Yep. Like, I know 35 is not the same, but it changes how they look and you're not attracted to them anymore. At least address it transparently.
Yeah, there has to at least be a conversation that has to be had about it. Otherwise,
it's like
it's just
you've
going to
checked
fester.
out of a relationship if you don't care about being attracted to the other person anymore. Mm-hmm. At that point.
What else? What else did people say?
One person said, no shade, Bebe Rexha might be wrong here. This is the most respectful rant from a guy I've seen too. He kept it real, I fear.
It wasn't a rant.
You asked for his honest opinion and you called him chubs when he gains weight too. That was the dynamic of the relationship. She needs to self-reflect for a second.
I'm sorry, but that is toxic femininity. The idea that a woman can criticize a man and he's supposed to just kind of take it because that's what society expects of them. But in a society now, in an age where like that's not what equality is supposed to mean.
One person said, lots of misogynists are showing their true colors lately.
That's me, Mr. Misogyny.
It's funny how the world never changes. Like, women are never going to stop asking, like, do I look fat in this dress?
Well, it's going to go on forever.
One person said, postmodern feminism has made women incapable of facing criticism or taking accountability. Everything is somehow an attack on them. Any bit of genuine advice is ignored and viewed as disrespect. The result of constantly telling them you're perfect the way you are. And it's also because I'll add this. I think that feminism has also not just ruined the relationships between men and women, but also female friendships.
How so?
Because in female friendships now, it's like if you're in a friend group, you're obligated to celebrate everything that your female friends do in the name of women's solidarity. Mm-hmm. Even if they do something toxic or self-destructive, you have to celebrate it and approve of it, or else you are ostracized. And I've experienced this on some of my own like friend groups too. Like if you deviate from like celebrating everything that your friends do, even if you know that it's bad for them, which is like it's real friendship to tell someone that they're going down the wrong path if that's the truth. Like if you see that your friend is in a toxic relationship, or you know, if they are, you know, drinking heavily or something, and you want to have an honest conversation with them about it, it's almost like this nebulous concept of female solidarity and girl power has ruined women's ability to be their own accountability partners. And it's really sad.
Yeah, and it's part of that is also, it's like there is the contingent of people who are just like, I'm not a jerk, I'm just honest. But then it's always somebody who says something in the jerkiest way, in the jerkiest manner possible. So it's like people assume that that's what it is.
But women are like supposed to be the masters of communication that are able to like cushion those criticisms in a way that like sandwiches it with a compliment and doesn't put down the other person. Yeah. And even when you do that now, it's an attack. It's viewed as an attack on another woman. Therefore, you're not allowed to do it. And it's like, also when any woman criticizes another woman who's doing something clearly immoral or hypocritical, it's like, oh, you're just jealous.
That's the big go-to excuse as well. You're just jealous.
I think it's really sad. Like, feminism has destroyed even male friendships too. Like, there's not any acceptable level of like actual intimacy between male friends because it's all considered gay now.
It's
just every level of human relationships has been ruined by this ideology.
Well, and people that are obsessed with sexual with any type of with that type of stuff. It's like we were talking about that recently. Like it does in a lot of ways ruin in movies and television. It's ruined that in a lot of ways. Like now, like the female characters aren't just allowed to be friends. You have to then just assume that they're gay. Not to mention, like most of the time when Hollywood writes female friendships, they write it the way they imagine them to be, not the way they actually are.
This is insane. Someone said, people are taking both sides totally the same. She has PCOS, gained 35 pounds, and spoke to the public about its personal impact on her. Her making a hyperbolic joke, like he says, over 3 pounds, I highly doubt that it hit the same place for him. This is a false equivalence of misogyny. Like, she literally body shamed him, and that was before this conversation ever happened.
And even if that's true, that they're different things, because 35 pounds and 3 pounds are different levels of a discussion.
That's insane. Yeah. Like, women should be allowed to criticize each other and be criticized.
Andy, you should be allowed to answer a question when somebody asks you a question if you give an honest response. Otherwise, what you're saying is that you don't value his honesty, you value his subservience and his desire to lie to you to make you feel better. And it's not a long way off for somebody like that to just be like, well, she doesn't want the truth. She wants to be lied to feel better, and then he's going to act like a jerk in other ways because you've conditioned each other not to be truthful and honest with one another.
Yeah, he's doing what people say to do in relationships, which is like be an honest communicator, be direct.
Women don't want men to be honest.
Yeah, not generally, no.
They do
but
not.
I mean, some of these people are saying, I don't see the issue. He seems like so caring in this screenshot, and I'd want my boyfriend to be honest like this.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media, and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.